Hi everyone, welcome back to Together with Kaylee. I have so much to share with you since it's been so long since we last spoke. I'm really excited to be getting started with the story of my baptism. It starts off as a religious obsession and it becomes divine salvation and redemption. Let's get into it because it's a bit of a wild story. And why wouldn't my baptism story be a little bit wild since it's about me? My family is Catholic, and growing up, I didn't really see them practice religion in traditional ways. But one thing that I somehow ended up getting obsessed with was my baptism. I remember seeing a Catholic process chart that basically described the different steps that you need to go through in order to experience salvation. My understanding was, as long as I get baptized, I'm a guaranteed entry into heaven. And so as a child, I became very obsessed with getting baptized. It got to the point that I would guilt trip my mom so often. I always just wanted the easy way. I was like, the baby baptism was the easiest way I could have gotten my ticket to heaven, and you messed it up. I did feel really bad that my mom had to keep paying for different catecismo enrollment sessions for me, because every time I signed up for one session, I would quit. I was like, if Jesus was here right now, he would not ask me for $275 to sign me up for baptism. He just wouldn't. Eventually, I became 20 years old and I was living in Cleveland for 6 weeks. It was a summer day and I was reading outside, and two women approached me and just started talking to me about God. They were asking me a lot of different questions about my family's religion, my upbringing, my relationship with God. By the end of the conversation, we got stuck on the question, do you want to be baptized today? And I honestly could not believe it. This opportunity felt like this is my chance. I can literally get baptized right now, not have to pay for anything, not have to go to any classes, and I'll be guaranteed entry into heaven. That's what I understood that moment as. But still, I was so conflicted because of the religious, shallow level of relationship that I had with God. And in that instant, I was overwhelmed with all these questions. Is this baptism going to even be valid? These women are Christian. My family is Catholic. Does God still care for my baptism if I do it with people from another religion? And I was like, ladies, I need some time. I didn't take that time to talk to God. I went and took that time to talk with my family, and I asked my aunt, I was like, Tia, do you think that this will still count? And she was just like, what do you feel in your heart? Do you want to do it? And what I really felt in my heart and in my flesh was what I felt all along. This is it. I just need a chance to go to heaven, and my baptism is here. So I'm going to do it. And so I did it, y'all. I got baptized in Cleveland. But the wildest part about this, wait for it, it happened in a parking lot. It happened right outside a van with a bucket of water, some crackers, and grape juice. That was my baptism. That baptism, compared to my Rio baptism, really had no influence over my relationship with God. After that parking lot baptism, I continued behaving, speaking, acting exactly as I did before the fake baptism. There's so many things about my Rio baptism that demonstrate to me that I was baptized exactly when I was meant to be baptized. For example, I hated all the worksheets and the read alouds. And I love reading aloud in class. When they ask for a volunteer to read, I'd be like, me, pick me, teacher. Let me speak and impress you. When it was in catecismo, I was like, man, please don't make me try to read these words in the Bible. I don't want to. I was not interested. I was bored. I was half asleep. And when it came time for my real baptism Bible school, I was engaged. I was asking questions. I was looking forward to the classes. I was participating. I was not falling asleep. There was a major difference, and one of them is the fact that I actually had an open mind, heart, and spirit for my baptism before I was closed. I wanted to receive, but I was not trying to give any effort, any time, any attention. By the time that I experienced my real baptism, I had full understanding of the reason why Jesus Christ died. The fact that he passed away, he died, and he rose again 3 days later is entirely symbolic of the experience that he wants for us when we are baptized. And more than a ticket to heaven, because of the ridiculousness that I lived before I was saved, I am so grateful that through my baptism, God gave me the chance to put my old self to death. That girl is in the grave, and I rose again, and I'm who I am now. It was much more significant for me to know that I can walk away from the shame, from the condemnation that I experienced in my past, and put it to death. I'm still here on this earth, and if y'all try to shame me, guilt trip me, I would really maybe feel that. But because I have experienced my baptism, you can't tell me nothing. And that was not something that I could embrace before through my fake baptism. I was heavily living in guilt and shame still after I rose again. This year, I celebrated my 1-year anniversary of being baptized, and honestly, it almost felt even more special than the day of my baptism. The more I think about and remember who I used to be, the more I appreciate who God allowed me to be now. I am not the same person I was before I was baptized, and that is such a blessing. My baptism to me means so much more now than a ticket to heaven. I was divinely redeemed. I experienced salvation in a way that freed me from some of the heaviest guilt, shame, condemnation I've ever experienced in my life, and that has no price. My baptism sparked a lot of changes in my life, and I really can't wait to share all those stories with you as well. Make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed watching this video, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss my next drop. See you next time.